My name's Peter Fewster. I'm a guide here at the old Melbourne Gaol, a place where Ned Kelly was executed for his crimes in 1880. Ned Kelly was brought through this door on the way to his execution, so let's go through there and show you what happens inside. It's hard to be seen as a spokesman for all of Australia talking about Ned Kelly because he means different things to different people. To many in Australia today, he's a figure to represent the rebelliousness of the Irish, a person who took up arms against the English to defend what he saw as the interests of the Irish. And then to others, he's the villain. He's the person who shot and killed, murdered 3 police, who shot and killed a police informer. So he can be seen from either side. This is a photo of Ned, a life-size photo of Ned taken the day before his execution. So this is 10th of November 1880. And it's Ned still wearing the chains, being prepared for his execution the following day. Ned's grandfather was from Tipperary. His father was sent to Australia for as a convict, stealing pigs in Ireland, so he got 7 years imprisonment. And at the end of that time of imprisonment, his father chose to come to Victoria because there was the opportunity to take up land here. And he quickly gathered other family members around him. He married into a big Irish family, the Quinns, and he maintained that there were 50 close family members he had here in Victoria, and the police called them the Kelly clan. A lot of crooks, if ever there were, according to the police. At the age of 11, he risked his life and saved a drowning 7-year-old. And so there were some in the community who attached hero to his name from that time on. And then at 12 years of age, when his father died and Ned became the primary breadwinner for the family, these family connections were finding him work, often in criminally related issues. So he was into all sorts of strife. 3 times in jail by the age of 16. So he's a young man heading down a path. We can't go into everything that this gang did in the 2 years that they were on the run. But they robbed banks. The gang made suits of armour to protect themselves. They were acquiring, sometimes donated, sometimes stealing, the blades of ploughs and fashioning them into crudely formed suits of armour in the bush. Ned Kelly's armour weighed something like 47 kilos. It left his arms and legs exposed, but it certainly stopped many bullets that would otherwise have taken his life. So Ned was captured alive after a shootout with the police at Glenrowan, in which the armour basically saved his life, but left his arms and legs exposed to police bullets. We've got an enlargement of the Melbourne Herald, the local newspaper, June the 28th, 1880. This is the day that Ned was captured alive by the police at Glenrowan after a shootout against the police. Ned was the only member of his gang to be captured alive. Three of them perished at Glenrowan. And if you look at it, you'll see that the headline is, for the special edition, the capture of the Kelly gang. And it shows hour-by-hour reports, telegrams coming back to Melbourne of what the police are doing up at Glenrowan. We're looking at an image from the Australian Sketcher newspaper showing the scene at Ned's execution. So it's Ned being led out of the cell by the priest and his assistants. On the other side is the hangman, governor of the jail and the sheriff. Most Australians will tell you that Ned's last words were simply, "Such is life." I'm not so convinced, I must say. I've read some varying accounts. 2 newspapers who were here both claimed his last words were "such as life," but and there were 6 newspapers in total. Certainly 2 others claimed that his last words were, well, I suppose it had to come to this. Such as life, and of course that's not nearly as dramatic as simply such as life or quite as heroic. The hangman would then pull the lever, the trapdoor would fly open, the body would fall into the space, be left suspended there for 30 minutes to make sure no one could survive, and then taken out and a death mask made, an image of the person, and then the remains buried. And on the day of Ned Kelly's execution, while Ned's undergoing this terrible process, his mother was also a prisoner in the jail, and so the prison guards had her just on the other side of the wall. There's still the remains of the laundry there. They had her working in that day. had her as close as possible, probably so that she would hear the sound of her son's execution, and on her release from jail she'd then take a message back to her other family members of the cost of breaking the law. Well, they're descendants of the Kelly family who come here every year and leave wreaths on the gallows where he died. So there's still a big family in Australia who remember him in this place on the anniversary of his execution.